Good evening, everybody. You are chilling with Kenny C right here on TMVcafe.com. My next guest is joining me right now. She is courtesy of Long Time Coming Entertainment. She is a recording artist and a model. She goes by the name of Shana Q, and she is with me right now. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you this evening?
You know, I'm doing good considering I'm fresh out of the hospital from surgery yesterday, but I'm doing good.
That's very encouraging to hear, and I'm glad that you are in good spirits with everything you've been through, and I'm happy that you are here joining me, courtesy of Long Time Coming Entertainment. So, with that being said, we go ahead and begin. You are a model and you are also a recording artist. So let's start with the music side first.
Yes,
But
and I
what?
also do African dance too.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So how did you get into um the entertainment side of things, music, model, and everything? How did that begin for you?
Well, music has been something that's been in my pretty much part of my life, my whole life. Like I grew up singing in the church choir, school choir, and even right after college, I sang in the choir then too. So it's just something that has always been part of, who I am. And
So
then
yeah,
go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
And then the modeling side of it kind of came later. The modeling part where I did like my first show, I did it with a hairstylist here locally by the name of Tweety, and I did like a hair show for her, and that was like the very first time I had actually like did some modeling before, and I did a couple of pageants and stuff like that growing up through like the Middle Georgia Baptist Association and whatnot. But like my first like real like show fashion wear model and stuff like that, I did it with her, and that was like I want to say it was like in 2006. And then I kind of like took a hiatus for a while, and then I met Colors. I had done a couple of photo shoots and stuff like that before with a couple of friends of mine, and I met Colors, and then he brought me on, as far as singing. He heard my voice and he wanted me to, contribute. And, you know, then it came about where I did like the first show with David Freeman. And I started modeling in different events for him. And then it just kind of went from there. And so I've done different, events there. And I actually enjoy it a lot. So, and then the African dance came later from working with one of the designers, Rhonda Richardson, that I met, in the midst of a fashion show. So not only does she, she models, and I mean, she designs clothes. She also, was doing the African dance, and then I found out how much I really just love it all.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as music, got the R&B vibes. I like that. I played your song earlier. I think it's the Your Love
Yeah, me and Simmons boy.
with Simmons Boy. Let's talk about that track. The sample is very familiar sample on that particular track. Just talk about recording it and what was it like having Simmons Boys, which on that particular song.
Well, it was I would say I thank Simmons boy because he pushed me, and I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. He was like, no, you're gonna sit down here, you're gonna do this, and it's gonna be good. I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, you're not leaving here until you come up with something. And I was like, okay. So, he ultimately he picked the beat, he found the beat and everything else. And I sat down and he was like, well, tell me what you're feeling, and it was a process. I didn't, I writing poetry is something that I'm saying, I'm accustomed to doing. I've done that, pretty much a lot. So especially since like elementary school, writing poems was easy, but putting a poem into music seemed to be like the hardest thing ever for me. So it was like, okay, well, can I do this? Can I do that? And I went back and forth with him, and it took us maybe about probably about 2 hours. And before I came up with what I did come up with, and a lot of it was just off top of the head and just ad libbing. And I was like, okay, look, how about you add a second verse on here? And then he says, no, this is your song. I'm like, but please, like, I was like, can you please help me do this? But it turned out better than expected. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, this is really, I like this a lot. So, I wasn't confident in it at first, but after doing it and hearing it and remixing it a few times and finally getting it to a point where I'm like, okay, I like it. I like it. Let's run with it. But it was a process. It was a mind boggling process for me. For him, it was easy, but for me, it was just like, this is not the same as poetry.
So that's a very fascinating story. Like he wanted you to be on this song, this track per se, and you was like, okay, but you gonna be on this song with me. Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna do this, you gonna do this with me. And I
Yeah.
think y'all was able to compromise in that regard. But every now and then, you gotta have someone to push you to get in, fulfill goals and things like that. And I like the song. I personally like the song.
Thank you.
It's
And
very
there will
nice.
be more to come.
Okay, so with that being said, when could we expect some more music for Shayna?
Well, currently due to like say recent events, I do have a lot of time right now the next week to actually sit down and work on stuff. I've been, working with a particular producer as well as, getting beats and stuff from him. So he gives me good insight on what he think will be a good sound and either I like it or I don't. And then, we've been communicating about that a lot. So I've been working on trying to get some other stuff together. So hopefully everything will be finished by within the next few weeks. Um, some stuff I've already done. I just got to get in the studio and actually get down to recording it. And now it's so producers make it fairly easy for you to record stuff whether you're at home or you can come to their studio as well. But I actually enjoy that studio feel because like when I did it, the original recording for Your Love, I did it at the studio in Simmons Boy's house, and then from there we went to Jay Brown's house, and we at Studio J, and we did the final mixes and everything there.
Hmm. So as far as I want to get to the African dancing side for a bit. Um, Talk about the experience, just getting into it, and now that you have done plenty of it, getting familiar with the culture and everything. How would you describe the experience just doing that line of dancing per se?
It is definitely different from the normal that we generally do, but a lot of it people don't realize a lot of the way we dance now is rooted behind our traditional African roots. So like thanks to Rhonda Richardson and Regina and Melvina when she opened up her dance studio, the gym that I learned a lot and I was able to meet these wonderful ladies. And what started out for me is just, hey, this is a cool workout. And I actually love to dance. So one of the things that a lot of people say, if you see Shayna, she's either dancing, she's singing, or she's just not saying nothing at all. It's one of the three. So and I enjoy, like meeting them. And it just, like I said, it just started at first as just like a fellowship. And then it went from, we would do the dances, learn them, then learn about different cultures. And like, I would like look up different dances after we leave the classes and want to know more. Then I'll go home and work on it, practice it. And then it started from, hey, we got a show, somebody want to see us dance. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. But then I realized that, what, dancing is it's so fun. Like I really enjoy it, and like with the people that I do it with, like they are some amazing ladies. They are some amazing teachers. They design our outfits. We recently just did a performance at the Miss Plus Size Charleston pageant. We danced with one of the contestants, and we took time and we practiced to show her to dance, and we all did it together as a group. And like it's not only do you hear about the music, everybody now seems to be on the Afrobeat trend, but like there's more than just Afro beats as far as dancing too. So I also like the traditional African dance as well, which is pretty much a little bit harder than what a lot of people realize, but I enjoy every bit of it because not only, like I say, it's fun, it's also a workout for me too.
Yeah, and just getting to do that in front of an audience really shows that you are passionate with it. Being with people that's in for the cause, that's in for it as well. I mean, it makes it even more fun, and it shows that passion. So it's just you definitely represent for the ladies. For uh, talk about being the size that you are. You're being an inspiration as far
Listen,
as people.
I love to represent for the plus size girls because there's so many. I never forget being told, like when I played basketball and in high school and in college, it was, you can't do this, you too big, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, I'll show you. Granted, I did play basketball in college. I had a scholarship for school I went to, and I just I was never afraid to do certain things. Now the modeling side of it, I was very timid about that because there's always certain things I'm like, you want me to put on what? I don't know about that one. And then it just became, you know what? I'll put it on. And I realized that through the dancing, through the singing and modeling, the number one thing you have to have is maintain that positive attitude because sometimes you're going to always doubt yourself no matter what you're doing, but somebody else is always watching you for inspiration whether you realize it or not, and that's kind of what keeps me going. Like, no, I may not perform music as much as some people would want me to, or no, I may not always do shows as fast as people want me to, but like I have a good balance between the three that, when people ask, well, which one do you love the most? And it's like, well, I don't know anymore because I know what was my first love and then what came later. So it's just like I have a love for all three, and whether you are a size 2 or a size 22, like you can do it. Because like when it comes to African dancing, I have seen some of these ladies that they move and I'm like, dang, if she can do it, I know I can do it. And then, it's the inspiration that you get. And it's that when everybody around you doing it, like they push you to do great. And same thing with modeling and same thing with music. As long as you got people backing you and pushing you and they believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself, sometimes other people believe in you and what you can do. And that's the one thing that I have learned when I was just like, I'm scared, I don't want to do it, I don't think I can do it. I'll get up there and I do it, and then people surprise me and I'm like, oh, I thought I sounded horrible. Oh, I messed up, I missed a step. Oh shoot, I missed a mark when I walked down the runway or whatever. But I still have, most importantly, I have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So it definitely shows that you shows versatility, obviously, and you enjoy all three in different ways, and being able to use all of that to express yourself. So as it just shows some people willing to do one, but you being able to do all three, and it works. You being that inspiration, obviously, and Shayna doing it for the late, for the plus sizes. So shout out to them. Shout out to everyone that's willing to show that versatility and everything. That's awesome. So you are part of Long Time Coming Entertainment, and I've been interviewing a variety of people from the company throughout this month of April. Obviously, you mentioned Colors, who was there with you from the get go. So Headliner is now the boss lady. And I've asked everyone this question, and I'll go ahead and ask you this as well. How you feeling about Headliner now being in charge of Long Time Coming?
Well, it's honestly it's a good thing. Like before, she did become CEO and so forth. Like I kind of had already had that feeling, that that was going to be the next thing because she's like I call her my shiro because she does a whole lot of stuff. She's a mother, she's a firefighter, she a singer. She's even modeled on a couple of events with me as well. So I think it's good overall that that she is doing it. And colors, they can work together really well. They feed off each other, and it's really good to have her. And like I say, I pretty much when she first came on to the team a few years ago, I just kind of clicked and vibe with her off top, because for me, a lot of times it's like when, you meet a lot of females often end up being real catty when they first meet each other. But when I met her, I was just like, you know what, she's really a dope individual. And the fact that, they decided on making her, CEO, and she's, her colors, Jay Brown, Patrice, they are all wonderful.
Yeah, and from what I can tell, everybody is on board with Headliner and her new position.
Yes.
I even told Headliner, I mentioned a song she did, Black Girl Magic, and she was talking about being a CEO in that song. That was back in 2019.
Yeah.
So she got a big smile at me, like, you know what? I did said that, and I'm like, now look at you.
She manifested that all the way, all the
Manifest.
way.
So so with everything with you got going on, what's next for Shayna? Obviously, you are just got off with your health situation, but as far as what's ahead, what's next on the horizon for Shayna?
Well, first, like I say, I got to go through this whole recovery situation first. But this recovery will also be time for me to sit down and listen to all the beats that Ric Flair has been sending me over the course of the last few weeks
Mhm.
and finish up this EP that that I'm long overdue to finish it. Long time coming. Yes, it's a long time coming for this EP to be finished. So I definitely have time to do that over the course of the next, week or so while I be recuperating because when you're at home recuperating, what do you have left better to do other than write? So, and then I there will be the Cara Fest coming up in June, so I do plan on participating in that as far as doing Afro soca and dancing with the crew as well in that event also. And that's it so far right now. Like I'm, looking to do some more modeling events, later on during the year. So, anybody out there that's, has events, I'm trying to jump on all of them, whether it's in Charleston. I mean, shoot, I don't care if it's in Kentucky, I will come.
You know, us Kentuckians will be more than happy to have you on.
Hey, I will definitely come.
Yeah, so I may need to reach out some people, let them know, hey, I got a friend down south. She sings, she models, she dance, she whatever you need for her, she got you.
Yeah.
Just name the day, time, all that, and we'll go on from there. Um, so, where can people find you on social media? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any other links out there?
Well, right now, only thing I have up is my Facebook, and it's just Shana Q Law on Facebook right now. And I'm working on an Instagram page and trying to get that together, as well as trying to work on some other stuff as well, because I need to increase my social media presence.
All right, so for the time being, she's on Facebook, so go check that out. Show your support. She got some things on the horizon once she take care of some things, for important things, obviously. Great have you on the show this evening, Shayna. I enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time, and best of health and success goes to you. Um, Again, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this platform and um, hey, look forward to possibly working with you again in the future.
Absolutely. You have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
That, that was Shana Q.